who is your Tales research subject?
This guy named Alexander Finster.
Lieutenant Colonel Samuel F. Butler.
His name was James A.J. Elias.
James Nash.
He's an interesting character, really, because like he lived for a long time during his age, before and during the Civil War. So like he lived to about 80 years old, and like he's just been through like a really horrible life, kind of.
What? Give me some of his backstory. Like what happened to him? What did he go through?
Well, like I only found information about like just before the Civil War, he sent a bunch of letters to his wife explaining scenarios, trying to get through like economic obstacles, you could say. So he had to like, he's a boarder essentially, so he had to go like to a bunch of houses across the state to earn money for his family. All the while his family is really sick and really poor, so he has to provide for them without being there, so to speak. Now I'm like, how do you do that? But I'm trying to find out right now, so it's kind of interesting.
And was he in the Civil War?
He wanted, like he wrote about it to his wife that he wanted to, but he knew he couldn't because he had a family to provide. So.
Okay, so I know that he was born in Frederick, Maryland. Don't really know how he got here, when he got here. He doesn't have a family, but I do know that he served in the Confederacy at one point, and he became lieutenant colonel, and he eventually died in the Battle of Antietam. He received a mortal wound and died a month later from it, and that about sums up Lieutenant Colonel Samuel Butler.
He was one of the prominent preachers during the Civil War, and he made a real impact here in the South. He was one of the only supporters of the abolition of slavery. So, yeah.
When I first got him, he wasn't even in the cemetery, so that was interesting. I found him on the online records, and then that was it for like a really long time. It took me so long to find anything, but now my paper is he was in the Civil War, but he died before he even got to fight because of typhoid fever. So I did some research into that and found out that more people died in the Civil War by far by like illnesses and things like that than any fighting. So that's my paper.
Do you have a ton of sources?
Yes, I have at least altogether 30 sources right now.
Wow. And is it a mix of websites and like documents and letters?
Mostly websites and letters, but I have a few book sources in there, so that's pretty good.
I have 16 right now, but I think I'm going to be about 18 by the time I finish.
What are they from? Are they from like the internet and then like books here? Is it like a good mix of stuff?
I would say most of what I got from here was just like references to stuff later, like microfilming, a lot of that, but the majority of what I have is online, and a lot of it's like Google Books and stuff, so I guess most of it's print.
Right now, I'm up to about 20-something. I'm hoping to get more because it fills up space.
And do you have them from books here in the library or from the internet?
Mostly from books, but I also have a few sources from internet and documents and such.
Yes, now that I've found, it's the Civil War, so I can find so much about it, and it's really interesting because like I like medicine, and so it's like it's crazy what all the conditions they were in and what was happening.
So are your sources like mainly websites or like books that you found in the library here?
Yeah, most of the stuff I've found has been here in the archives and in the like national room.
So how deep are you into your paper right now?
I'm quite, 2 pages worth. I'm trying to compile all the information. It's a lot of information I have, but I'm trying to compile it all.
I have 3 right now.
Close to 2, but I'm hoping to get 5 more done by today or tomorrow.
3.
And finally, are you confident that you can get to that 7-page word count on Monday?
I think I can make it.
Okay.
Somehow, I'm going to compile all this information and just, Mr. Yarborough should be surprised at what I come up with.
Okay.
Just say that.
Confidence, not really, but I think it will get done.
Okay, cool.
I'm not sure about confident, but I hope so.
Yes, because I need to.
the tradition goes like this. This today is transformed into the sexy yellow Tales from the Crypt paper receptacle. I will call your name. I think it is a moment in which you ought to have the kind of sense of closure to put your name down. But you know me, I like things to be just slightly goofy and game show atmosphere-esque. So I'm going to call your name as if you are a contestant on a game show coming down. It won't be too loud. And then, because I just kind of think it's funny, for some of you, I'll pretend you're a professional wrestler, and I'll call your name out as if you were getting into the ring and being introduced in that way. So here we go.
And depending on who's who.
In alphabetical order. When you're finished, come place it here. I do want it stapled together. The staple is conveniently here on Nathan's desk, who should arrive again, heavily winded. So here we go. First person, the last first person in this class to turn in their Tales from the Crypt paper in 2015 is Rebecca Chen. Come on down.
Yeah.
She's got theme music. That was good. Impressive. Andy. Andy's out. I skipped somebody.
Skip me too.
I skipped two of you. All right. We'll go in reverse order then. Hallie! No, that's right. Hallie! Hallie's up there. So next one. Hallie! What? All right. And let me go back to you. Valerie McGregor! Is he out of breath? Yeah. Is he out of breath? He doesn't have a paper though.
It's in my binder.
Make sure, did you sign out in your wellness card? Because I think it qualifies then.
Oh, jeez.
All right, now I got to call your name, so here we go. Nathan! I aspire to be something greater professionally than a gardener! Okay. All right, everybody turned in their paper. Congratulations. A soft round of applause.